While Iran burns, Trump is quietly preparing to arm someone else. $14 billion in air defense missiles for Taiwan, awaiting one signature. Beijing is watching. She is expecting a visit, and the weapons are ready the moment Trump gives the thumbs up. China has a word for this: provocation. Trump is heading to Beijing with a very loaded hand. The United States could soon approve its largest ever weapons package for Taiwan, a move that could significantly reshape the security balance in the Indo-Pacific. According to a Reuters report, the proposed arms deal, valued at roughly $14 billion, is awaiting final approval from US President Donald Trump. Sources briefed on the discussions told Reuters that the announcement is likely to come after Trump's upcoming visit to Beijing, where he is scheduled to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping between March 31st and April 2nd. The package is being closely watched in both Beijing and Taipei.
The deal is being held under wraps ahead of Trump's planned March 31st to April 2nd trip to Beijing to meet President Xi Jinping, but could be announced after he returns.
The proposed deal would include a large number of advanced air defense interceptors, particularly Patriot PAC-3 missile system and NASAMS air defense system, designed to counter missile and aircraft threats. Another source told Reuters the systems are ready for announcement once the president gives the green light.
That in turn would ease anxiety in Taipei. The package largely consists of PAC-3 and NASAMS air defense missiles. As soon as the president gives the thumbs up, those are ready to be officially announced. Everything is done.
In addition to the $14 billion package, another $6 billion in asymmetric defense capabilities, systems designed to counter a larger invading force, could also be approved in separate or follow-up announcements. China has already signaled strong opposition. In a statement to Reuters, China's foreign ministry reiterated Beijing's long-standing position that the United States should stop providing weapons to Taiwan.
Our government's opposition to US arms sales to China's Taiwan region is consistent and unequivocal.
Taiwan, which China considers its own territory, has faced increasing military pressure from Beijing in recent years. US officials say the policy of supporting Taiwan's defense remains unchanged. A senior US official confirmed to Reuters that arms sales are still moving through the approval process.
Arms sales are working their way through the process. There is no change to our policy with respect to Taiwan.
Officials in Taipei say Washington has repeatedly reassured them that support for the island's defense will continue. One Taiwanese source told Reuters they remain confident in the White House strategy, despite Beijing's efforts to delay the arms approvals ahead of the Trump-Xi summit.
We have confidence in Trump, though. Beijing has underestimated the strategic vision of the White House.
China's opposition to US arms sales to the Taiwan region is consistent and clear. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Guo Jiakun said on March 13th in response to a media inquiry on the Reuters report.
China's position on firmly opposing the United States' arms sales to Taiwan is consistent and clear. The United States should earnestly abide by the One China principle and the 3 Sino-US joint communiques, especially the provisions of the August 17th communique, and stop arms sales to Taiwan, so as to safeguard the stable development of Sino-US relations and peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait with concrete actions.
Meanwhile, Beijing also warned Washington against taking any action involving Hong Kong or Taiwan ahead of Trump's expected visit. It condemned US calls for the release of jailed former Hong Kong media boss Jimmy Lai Chi-ying and reiterated opposition to American arms sales to Taiwan.
Hong Kong is a society governed by the rule of law, and no one should fantasize about escaping legal sanctions by engaging in serious illegal and criminal activities. The central government firmly supports the Hong Kong SAR government in punishing crimes that endanger national security in accordance with the law, and resolutely opposes external forces interfering in Hong Kong's judiciary and China's internal affairs. The unilateral sanctions imposed by the U.S. on Chinese central government agencies in Hong Kong and Hong Kong SAR government officials are illegal, and China has always firmly opposed them. This position is consistent and clear.
With billions in advanced weaponry on the line and a Beijing summit days away, the world waits to see whether Trump pulls the trigger or blinks. Japan's decision to deploy surface-to-air missiles on Yonaguni Island by March 2031 signals a significant shift in regional security dynamics and deepening tensions with China. Yonaguni sits just over 110 kilometers from Taiwan, putting Tokyo's air defenses closer to the self-ruled island than ever before, and marking the first time the Japanese government has publicly set a timeline for such a deployment. The move centers on Japan's plan to install Type 03 Chusam medium-range surface-to-air guided missiles, a Japanese-designed system capable of intercepting aircraft and ballistic threats. These weapons, developed by Mitsubishi Electric and Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, have been in service since 2003 and are a key pillar of the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force's layered air defense network. Yonaguni, which already hosts a Japan Self-Defense Forces facility, lies 100 kilometers from Taiwan, and residents fear that they could quickly become caught up in a military confrontation in the region. Tokyo's Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi said the deployment would depend on progress in building the necessary facilities on Yonaguni, where a self-defense force base already exists.
We are planning fiscal 2030 for this deployment.
This announcement comes against the backdrop of a bitter 2025-2026 China-Japan diplomatic crisis, sparked by remarks from Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi suggesting Tokyo might invoke collective self-defense should China use force against Taiwan.
Our intention is to strengthen our defense capabilities to protect the lives and peaceful livelihoods of our citizens in the face of the most severe and complex security environment since the end of World War II.
Beijing responded with trade restrictions and heightened rhetoric, accusing Japan of provocative behavior, a charge Tokyo has rejected. China has criticized Japan's missile plans, characterizing the initiative as a deliberate effort to create regional tension and provoke military confrontation. However, Japan has insisted that the measures are necessary to deter potential threats and safeguard its territory. The missile deployment reflects a broader trend in Tokyo's strategic approach, including increased defense spending and moves to acquire counter-strike capabilities previously constrained by Japan's post-war pacifist constitution. The Type 03 surface-to-air missile systems are part of this effort, enhancing air defenses on Japan's southwestern islands amid rising Chinese military activity, particularly near Taiwan and in the East China Sea. Beijing's unease is not limited to the missile plan. The ongoing territorial dispute over the Senkaku Islands further complicates relations, with both Japan and China asserting sovereignty over the uninhabited archipelago in the East China Sea. While Tokyo maintains its actions are defensive, the deployment of missiles so close to Taiwan represents a notable escalation in Japan's military posture in the Indo-Pacific. As regional powers navigate an increasingly fraught security landscape, the Yonaguni Plan is likely to be viewed as a significant development in the strategic balance between Japan, China, and the broader alliance network, including the United States. Japanese Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi used her first major policy speech to Parliament following a landslide election victory to warn of escalating Chinese coercion and to outline an ambitious overhaul of Tokyo's defense and security posture. The address on February 20, 2026, underscored Japan's deepening concerns about regional threats and marked a significant shift in Tokyo's strategic outlook amid intensifying tensions with Beijing. Takaichi, who took office just 4 months earlier, framed her remarks as a response to what she described as rising pressure from China in the East and South China Seas. With her ruling coalition now commanding a supermajority in the lower house, she signaled broad support for tougher measures aimed at strengthening Japan's defense capabilities and economic resilience.
China is strengthening efforts to change the current situation by force or coercion in the East China Sea and the South China Sea, and is expanding and activating military activities around our country. North Korea continues to pursue the improvement of its missile capabilities. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is still ongoing. North Korea has dispatched troops to Russia, and there is a risk that Russian missile-related technology will be transferred from Russia. China is strengthening military cooperation with Russia. In addition, foreign trade and security guarantees are spreading to new areas such as space, cyberspace, and cognitive areas.
This stark warning set the tone for her policy agenda, which includes revising Japan's core security documents to produce a new defense strategy and accelerating plans to expand military exports. Tokyo currently limits defense sales to non-lethal equipment, but Takaichi's government has proposed easing those restrictions, opening the door to a wider range of overseas defense contracts. Her comments reflect growing anxiety in Tokyo about Beijing's expanding military footprint, closer ties between China and Russia, and North Korea's advancing nuclear capabilities. Japan's defense spending, already on a path to double to roughly 2% of gross domestic product by March, will continue to rise under her leadership as Tokyo seeks to modernize its armed forces. Beyond military modernization, Takaichi highlighted steps to enhance Japan's strategic autonomy. Her administration announced plans to establish a National Intelligence Council, chaired by the Prime Minister, to coordinate information across agencies. She also pitched a new framework to screen foreign investments in sensitive sectors and pledged to reduce reliance on specific countries by fortifying supply chains and securing critical materials. Economic security, in tandem with defense reforms, was a recurring theme. In the same parliamentary session, Takaichi unveiled broader economic initiatives designed to invigorate growth, including shifting away from strict fiscal austerity and supporting long-term investment in industries such as semiconductors and artificial intelligence. International reactions have been mixed. Beijing has criticized Tokyo's tougher rhetoric and policy orientation, viewing it as a challenge to regional stability. As Tokyo positions itself more assertively on the world stage, Takaichi's leadership is reshaping both Japan's defense doctrine and its economic strategy. With a commanding political mandate and rising regional risks, her government is pushing through reforms that could redefine Japan's role in a rapidly changing Indo-Pacific security environment.